welcome to another Daily Digest video. I am Ross Merriam. Today I am playing some tribal action with zombies. Mono black, it's sort of an aggressive deck. It's got Gravecrawler, Bloodghast, which isn't a zombie, but it has a sort of recursive element to it. So we're really just going to try to grind our opponent into a fine paste. And this hand looks great. We've got turn 1 Gravecrawler, turn 2 Gifted Aetherborn, turn 3 Dral's Messenger, thanks to Urborg, so our Mute Vault will tap for black. This is going to be an easy keep. See what our opponent does. They have mulligan to 6, perfect. And hopefully they're playing something with removal spells, because our deck is great against those, less great if our opponent is actually trying to be non-interactive and just kill us. I could play Urborg here on turn 1, and that would let me play Mute Vault on turn 2, but the chance of me attacking with Mute Vault on turn 2 is so low, and I don't know, maybe Urborging on turn 1 gives my opponent some sort of advantage. Okay, their Affinity, it appears. So, yeah, Vault Scourge is fine. Not sure how this matchup is going to go. They did not have an explosive turn 1, so that is definitely good for us. I'm generally going to be trading off as much as I can here. They're a deck that wants to have a critical mass, and I'm fine trading and regrowing my guys. And yeah, unsurprisingly, they do not take the trade. So now I'm going to play the Urborg. So next turn I can Mute Vault, and maybe turn 4 I play a removal spell and attack rather than playing the second messenger. So let's play Urborg and Gifted Aetherborn. Hopefully the Gifted Aetherborn lets us race a little bit more easily. A little bit of lifelink like our opponent has, but we don't have any removal spells right now. We do have Fatal Push in our deck, so hopefully we can contain a plating. Okay, Drum. As long as there's no like Opal here, Overseer would be an issue. We would need a removal spell pretty quickly for that one. Basic Island suggests they're heavy on Masters, maybe less heavy on Galvblasts. So, might be less inclined to play around Galvblast. Here's another Vault Scourge. But I'm still not super concerned. I guess like an Etched Champion next turn could be an issue, but this is a pretty tame draw as far as affinity draws go, so I'm pretty happy with it so far. Ooh, Well, there's a card that punishes me for not playing Urborg into Mute Vault. Because I would definitely consider Thoughtseizing and attacking for 6 here. But I don't think I can Thoughtseize and do nothing. I think I have to Messenger this turn, then seize into Messenger. They should still have something more we can take, but I'm expecting an Etched Champion next turn, which will be an issue for sure. But I just don't think I can take away that amount of mana efficiency from me. I would lose to other things. Expecting no blocks again, yep. Okay, and let's play this Mute Vault and the Messenger. I think we should still be able to beat an Etched Champion. We have a lot of pressure here, and it's not like they're going to block Dral's Messenger that well. It really only blocks down Gravecrawler, and then maybe just keeps checking Gifted Aetherborn, ensures I don't get any life. Addarkar Wastes. Well, now they're a strange affinity deck. Could be Dispatch. Oh, no. Maybe I should have Thoughtseize to protect against a plating, too. I would have assumed a plating would have come down last turn. And a Frogmite. This is a... Oh, no. This is a Dispatch, too, from the Messenger. Man, Dispatch is great against us. And they're emptying their hand. Man, we're getting max punished for not Thoughtseizing last turn. Which means getting max punished for not sequencing Urborg into Mute Vault. Because I definitely would have Thoughtseized if I had had the Mute Vault in play. Okay, well, we're not getting dispatched, so that's kind of good. And I think we might actually win this race. So they're gaining... Oh, okay, they have Thoughtcast. That's not bad. So they gain 7 here. We attack for 7. And then deal them an extra 2. I think we're okay in this race. And as soon as we start making them chump and trade, the plating gets less threatening. And there we go. That's even better. So I'm certainly going to hold up Fatal Push so I can kill whatever the plating is on. Hopefully they don't find a second Black Surge so they can equip it instant speed. But let's just mash and play the other messenger. Fatal Push was an ideal draw, and we'll just say nuts to this Thoughtseize. And we might just have them dead next turn. Okay, they're at 7. A second cranial plating would be a big deal. But we might even have that beat. The second cranial plating is another artifact, so these go to, they say they equip to the other Vault Scourge. They become 7/1s. I push one of them, it gains 6, goes to 13. Frogmite blocks a messenger, or Frogmite like blocks a Mutavault, and I have 10. So I guess still not lethal, but and no second cranial plating here is great. Hopefully they don't have some sort of counter spell. I'm a little unclear as to what's up with the blue and white mana. Maybe this is a new build of Affinity, just a homebrew. But if this push lands, then I feel great. Stubborn Denial. Oh no, I have Urborg in play. Oh no! Oh god! Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Oh well, I guess at least I still stopped some life. But oh man, the Urborg turning on cranial plating. That is a thing. Yep. Now they're gonna go to 12. I still think I'm winning this race. They do have 3 cards in hand though, so. Oh god. Oh, curse you, Urborg. Some other. Oh man, they did have a second plating. Well, now they're just dead. Oh, do they have a 0-mana artifact here? No. Well, they have unfortunately left themselves down on board. Although we drew a Fatal Push. Let's Thoughtseize just to see what's what. We might see something interesting from their hand, but Mirror Enforcer. There is the Etch Champion we considered as well. They had just left up the Frogmite and blocked something, and then, but then they'd only have, this would only be the 4th artifact. They would have had to draw like a land to make a 5th artifact here to attack me for 11. Like any land or 0-mana artifact would have gotten them there, or 1-mana creature, a Signal Pest or a Vault Scourge. I guess Scourge not so much because they'd have to pay 2 life for it, or 2 mana. But they would have had plenty of outs. But as it is, we will take the win here with our exactly lethal attack. Mushy for 12. So it looks like a normal Affinity deck. They just have white mana. I have to assume that's for Dispatch, which will be great against us. Ratchet Bomb seems very good. Damnation seems good. I just want to interact. The more I can interact, the better. Although Liliana is probably the worst form of interaction I have. Collective Brutality I'm also not keen on. I guess I want to interact, but only interact with good cards. I like the Kalitas. I like the other creatures. So maybe I'll just cut these and just have more powerful interaction. You know, all these sweepers. Ratchet Bomb can also deal with cranial plating. We have our 4 pushes, 2 dismembers, so 6 spot removal spells and 3 sweepers, and then the 4 Thoughtseizes. Are any of these cards better than Thoughtseize? Ghost Quarter is a little interesting because it can kill Nexuses, but I'm not too keen on that. I think decks like that want Ghost Quarter to answer Nexus are decks that are really trying to grind hard into the long game, mostly control decks. Whereas we're going to kill their stuff and try to race, so the Nexuses usually aren't going to race back. So I think this looks good. These high-end creatures I like, so let's submit and see what's going on. Hopefully we don't Urborg big it. That's the only, Urborg just helps cranial plating. But it really helps us with Mutavault there, so it's sort of wash. Okay, so I have a little bit of an awkward hand. I do have some early things and some removal. I'm a ways away from casting this Messenger with only 2 Urborgs in the deck, but I'm going to say this is on the lower end of the keep spectrum. Ooh, this looks like a more explosive draw from our opponent. Oh, I guess not. What would they keep that starts that way? Well, I'm just going to play a Gravecrawler. We'll hold the fetch for potential Bloodghast shenanigans. Also helps us draw a 3rd black source for Messenger. And if we draw Urborg, we might not ever need to crack it. Save ourselves a life point. So I would assume some 2-mana creature is coming here. Steel Overseer, Ravager. Frogmite, that's fine. Is that really it? Man. Getting a little lucky that our opponent is not affinitied all over us. Well, our creature can't block, so might as well attack. And I can either play second Gravecrawler or Ratchet Bomb here, and I'm inclined to just play the Ratchet Bomb, because eventually, I think my plan is to Damnation here on turn 4, and then I want to have a zombie in play to recur Gravecrawler, and that zombie might end up being this second Gravecrawler. I am going to play the Mire now, because I wouldn't mind curving Messenger into Damnation, because Messenger comes back. But let's get the Ratchet Bomb out. This also helps us start ramping it early in case our opponent has a Cranial Plating here. We'll be able to deal with it after only 2 attacks, which is survivable. The 3rd attack, not so much. Etch Champion here. That's usually what I assume when they have a slow draw. And Soul Artifact. Okay, then. Yeah, that's sort of like a Cranial Plating. Let's charge this up. At least our Ratchet Bomb will be able to deal with that too. So we'll charge. And yeah, you can mush us for 7. And I think we're going to get mushed for 7 again next turn. If they have land Cranial Plating, that'll be their 5th artifact. We'd get mushed for 12, which is exactly lethal. So that does make me inclined to play some zombies. And we're even a ways away from casting this Damnation without the 4th land. Definitely don't want to try to Mutavault with 4-drop, 5-drop in hand. The question is, I'm going to play this Cryptbreaker to block. Do I play the Gravecrawler too? So if I draw a 4th land, I'll Damnation. I'll probably have enough to Messenger the next turn, which means I can regrow the Gravecrawlers then. Whereas if I don't draw a land, I'm probably better off having the Gravecrawler in play. Maybe not, because I could discard that to Cryptbreaker if I miss on land, which is probably better. So let's just play Cryptbreaker and attack for 2. Yep. And hope that this turn is not too bad for us. Memnite is fine. Memnite is encouraged. Lands are also encouraged, especially lands that don't turn into creatures. Dispatch is less encouraged. Yeah, not much I can do about that. Okay, so this attack will bring us to 5, and then we'll be able to deal with the Ensoul, and our opponent has 3 power. A land would be very nice. Okay, yeah, take 7. Our opponent is down to 1 card, so that is nice. Let's not forget to charge this up. Put a charge counter. Oof. Would not want to sacrifice it. That would be bad. There's no way they have some answer for this. That would be insane. Yeah. That is not a land. It's also not a particularly good blocker here because it's a 2-drop and I'm going to be blowing up this Ratchet Bomb. It would be cool if I had another black, then I could like block, blow it up, return it to my hand, but I don't. Or if I had that Crypt Breaker in the graveyard, I could do that with it. Oh man. It does sort of stop the Frogmite for a turn. I guess we can always start by attacking for 2. I could blow up the Ratchet Bomb main phase and then play Relentless Dead, but that leaves me really vulnerable to a Cranial Plating. I guess I'm pretty vulnerable to plating regardless because I just don't have an answer to it. Although if I Damnation is board away, then not so much. So I think I do want to make the play that just gives me the most chance of firing this off, and that means not playing Relentless Dead. The Mutavault holds off the Memnite anyway. I am going to take 2. Alternatively, I could just play Relentless Dead, block Frogmite, then pop, and just use it to gain 2 life. That might be worth it, because once I Damnation, I'm going to start playing all these other things, Geralf's Messengers and Gray Merchants. So I might not actually have time to really use it. The 2 life might be better than anything else I get from it. Let's play it. There we go. That's perfectly fine. Come on, land. Well, yeah, if they don't attack with this... Ooh, yeah, I guess now they do get to so really only save me 1 life because they get to attack this Memnite for free. Maybe this was not great. Although exposing the Mutavault is also something I don't want to do. That did play into the decision. Sacrifice. Put these things on the stack. So I'm going to be at 4. I think I need to rip the land immediately. I guess like Mutavault lets me survive for 1 more turn. Yeah, Damnation would leave them with nothing. There we go. That's it. We did it. Okay. Let's get this. There's 11. Bam. Getcha. Keep flooding, please. What do we have? Yep, drum, perfect. And now we're sitting pretty well. Yeah, I am going to crack this. I just want to get as much devotion into play as I can for this Gray Merchant. So let's play Geralf's Messenger. They're going to be at 9. So they're dead next turn. Man, that's nice. Let's replay this Gravecrawler from the graveyard. And we have a Gray Merchant for 6. So a blocker keeps them alive. Or a dispatch on Messenger would be great. Well, that is a blocker. But I'm not sure it's going to be good enough. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts. Plating would be the 5th. So that's a 7-point swing. So we're going to go up to 9, and that'll be good enough. They'll be at 3, and then we'll have them dead next turn. And I can attack. Actually, they might just be... Oh, they're just dead anyway. Except they block. Yeah, they can't let Messenger through, and if they block it, they take 4. Okay. Game. Did it. Mono black zombies. Having the sideboard tech Damnation was perfect in that matchup, even though mono black doesn't have access to actual artifact removal, and we're a little fortunate with our opponent's draws, we'll say. I think we would have been behind game one had our opponent not tapped out that turn, left themselves dead on board, but it would have just come down to their next draw step. So most of that game played out pretty naturally. And then game two, that just clearly flooded, and we were able to buy just enough time to hit the key damnation. So hope you enjoyed watching some mono black zombie action. We even got to cast the Miser's Grey Merchant. That's perfect. I've seen a lot of these decks that are more devotion based and try to build up to these Grey Merchants. They play Phyrexian Obliterator in the main deck. I actually like this list more, a little more low to the ground, and a lot of value against these highly interactive decks like Death Shadow. You have a bunch of fatal pushes to deal with their creatures, and then their spot removal is not nearly as good against your Crypt Breakers, Grave Crawlers, Bloodghasts, Relentless Deads, Thrall's Messengers, and the like. So might be a well positioned sort of off the wall deck for your next local modern tournament. If you enjoyed that, you can come back and see me on Friday. Bye.